Let me ask you an honest question. Do you really think there is work-life balance? We all have only one life. How many? Just one. And we get the right to choose on how to prioritize on the things that we want to do based on the things that we enjoy most doing and that we feel that most pays us or serves us well. So when it comes to work-life balance, it's really an illusion, and the reason is because from one person to the other is different. One person, to him, a balanced life means totally different than another person, because if this thing to me is work, it could mean to somebody else happiness or not work. And if what that person looks at work, to me it could be just air. Like I could be loving it, enjoying it to the max. So what balance are we matching right here? Like there must be a fixed formula balance in order for me to judge and say, okay, that is work and that is balance. But in reality, a lot of successful people look at work to them as not work, but as what they are brought up to be, or what they enjoy most in their daily lives, and are professionals and are masters at it. You see, the worst time of my life is when I didn't do any work. So I kind of got a hint that balance is work, and balance does not mean not working, because I was the most depressed when I was not working, and that was during the first period of lockdown in COVID, where I wasn't sure if I'm at the right job, at the right business, at the right education. And I just froze. I stopped everything and I said, okay, let me back away and let me have a look on if I'm really happy doing what I'm doing or not. And I noticed that actually I'm not. So that's why I really appreciate lockdown for that, because without lockdown, I wouldn't have been monitoring myself and being conscious or stepping out. So when I used to work from home during COVID, I understood that for me to have balance, for me to have happiness, I must work. Then I came to search a lot of successful people that say there is no such thing as work-life balance. This thing does not exist. If you work to have options, then you're actually working in the right path and you're doing good. But if you work just for the money, that means you hate your job, but you gotta do it anyway. So you will always give the minimum. But to be free, you gotta give more than the minimum. Giving more than the minimum at your job will set you free, where most employees actually only give the minimum. Like they won't go out and actively ask for work, because which employee would do that? Nobody, right? But they do not understand, because they have not invested in their education, and I was a victim of it as well, that if you always do the minimum, you're gonna hate your job, because you're gonna feel like you are a slave to it. If you do more than the minimum by your own free will, you're set free. I understood this from Earl Nightingale, which the book called The Essence of Success. So here's a side note when it comes to the work-life balance, okay? When it comes to the life aspect. Mainly life to people is like social life, going out. So I'm gonna speak about that in this video. And that is that if you are very close to your partner, you're gonna switch that relationship to a sibling relationship. So you do not want that to happen, because it is not healthy. Whatever your partner will be saying, you'll be like, yeah, I know, because I was there. So what is there to talk about? What new interesting things is there to share between each other? Zero, right? So you do not want to create that. A lot of people think, okay, now I have to glue to my partner in order to enjoy my life part. No. You got to create space in order to allow some room for consciousness to enter, so you can understand that a relationship does take a lot of things to make it healthy. One of them is not being there, so things can be more interesting, things can be more compelling in order to keep pulling and attracting the other part.